We oftentimes say that young people are tomorrow's leaders, which they are, but they're also today's leaders. So a few years ago, Patterson Park Audubon Center created the Green Leaders program in order to grow young advocates for birds and communities threatened by global climate change.
Well, I've learned what to do to help the environment and what not to do.
What I love about Green Leaders is that we can help the community find ways to help the birds and the animals and plants.
During the program, Green Leaders learn about the science of global climate change. They learn how it affects birds and how it affects communities, some disproportionately.
En algunos países se están perdiendo algunas aves porque hay personas que cortan los árboles que dan alimento a aves.
A lot of people just say that this is it. We can't fix anything we've done in the past already, but if we all have that mindset, nothing's gonna get done. So we can't, as a world, function with everybody waiting for someone to lead.
Throughout the program, they cultivate public speaking skills, leadership skills. They tackle action projects that they feel passionate about, help them grow that passion and implement it in a real world way. And they've done that through a number of projects, things like greening projects, planting gardens for birds, community art projects, which they've done in ways that they get others to participate in creating something that will be displayed and make a statement.
Making gardens helps take all the carbon, the extra carbon that's in the air, absorbs it, and it helps the environment.
Green Leaders have met with elected officials at the state level, our state delegates for the district where we're located here in Southeast Baltimore. And a really great day was when they were on stage in Annapolis at this anti-fracking rally. And what was pretty special about it was not only did the Green Leaders show up, not only did they march and they had their banners and all these cool things, but they got on the docket. So they were on stage and the Green Leaders were up there with Delegate Robin Lewis, who's from this district, speaking to the crowd about why it's important, why we care about the health of our communities, our environment, our birds, other plants and animals. People tend to listen to young people. And so sometimes it gets the attention and it creates that inspiration right away for action.
Yo me preocupo por mí, por las personas, pero también por los animales.
They're finding ways that they can take that passion and turn it into action and share it with their neighbors, with their peers, but also with adults and lead adults by example.
Cuando yo lo hago en la casa, comparto de lo que aprendo aquí.
There's no other planet that we could go to in case this one dies. And this earth is dying slowly, but if we can only change that by changing the way how we react.
What humans do, it affects what happens outside.
I am trying to inspire my school and people with my friends, my family, try to spread the word that we need to take care of this earth so that it can take care of us.
Great. So we're now going to hear from Patrick McDonnell, who's the Secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. So Secretary McDonnell, take it away.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to be with you. Hope everybody had a good lunch, and welcome back to this session of the 2021 Chesapeake Bay Environmental Literacy Summit. As was mentioned, we'll be talking about climate this afternoon, and as we all know, climate change currently has and will continue to have an impact on our daily lives, but it will be this generation of students that are dealing with many of the consequences. Here at DEP, we try to be at the forefront of Pennsylvania's efforts to mitigate and adapt to climate change. And notably, some of the things that we've been doing include putting out the Clean Energy Workforce Development Needs Assessment, our gap analysis report, and the Climate Impact Assessment Report, which want to highlight in particular as a good resource for those within the Commonwealth that talks about the very real impacts, and to go back to some of the morning theme, in particular impacts that we're seeing in some of our environmental justice communities, in disadvantaged communities across the state. We've also expanded on meeting our environmental literacy goals, specifically through watershed education in the Commonwealth. In 2017, our Pennsylvania Environmental Literacy Task Force was provided grant funding for environmental literacy toward watersheds in the Commonwealth, particularly implementing meaningful watershed educational experiences. Since the start, the task force has held 25 workshops reaching 750 educators of school districts, environmental centers, and conservation districts for training on the MIWI education. Environmental justice, as I mentioned a moment ago, is another focus point in education for us. And 85% of our grant funds from the DEP Environmental Education Grant Program are going to support 51 projects that engage people living or working within environmental justice areas. In order to see more results, mitigation of environmental issues must continue with our current students. And preparation through career awareness, inquiry-based education, and hands-on training is necessary for future environmental stewards to fulfill lifestyle and workforce demands associated with equity and climate change.